Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Today, we have a ton of stuff to cover in this video, and I don't even know where to start, but if you guys are enjoying the daily crypto videos, please support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. It helps me out a ton, and I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. Same goes for on Twitter. Really, all the likes, all the retweets you guys have been doing on there. I love it, I love it, I love it, and I just want to say thank you all for doing all of that. Question of today is, have you already tried selling crypto today, or have you been holding on strong? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's get into the video of today. Well, I want to first introduce it with a little bit of a tweet on stocks, and it comes from Vitalik Buterin, who said on Twitter, "So the S&P 500 is now higher than it was 1 year ago." And these videos are not really about stocks, and it's actually not too much about the picture either. Even though it's clear to see, yes, we are higher than 1 year ago, it's not about that too much. It's just about the idea of a lot has been going on in the media. A lot of people are saying this and that and this and that. But still, in the end, it might all be a lot less worse or less heavy as it might seem by all these news sources. That's just something you got to keep in the back of your head as we move throughout this video, as there's a couple of things which really might bend your stomach a little bit about crypto news. And we're talking a lot about prices. So let's get into it. Let's get into today's crypto news. First of all, the same Bitcoin trigger that sparked a 240% rally in April 2019 is back, and basically is just the 20 weekly EMA that gets breached, followed by a huge fake out here, and here by a price rally, here by another price rally but limited, and basically that whole signal is back again. Bitcoin closed above a crucial resistance area today. The ceiling was instrumental in beginning a new bull run back in 2019. That was what it was for, wherein the price surged by 240%, and traders' optimism for Bitcoin has peaked ahead of its mining reward halving in May 2020. And this part is, for all the people that are just listening, not watching, this part about the halving is really the most important part of today, because I've been seeing a lot of really strange opinions and things I don't agree with, so let's move forward. Breaking: Bitcoin shooting higher, gaining double digits. It's been going on. It hasn't happened in a little while, so people are really happy with it. Altcoins will be destroyed by Bitcoin, warns analyst following jump to 8.5K. Another one side of the gun, another one side of the story. People are claiming that altcoins will not manage because all the money will flow into Bitcoin right now. All the altcoin money will flow into Bitcoin pre-halving, and then once the halving occurs, the money will flow back out. This is a short-term bearish thing for altcoins, long-term very bullish, because what happens is people sell their altcoins for Bitcoin, getting Bitcoin to rise, and once Bitcoin rises, people try to diversify their newly earned money into altcoins to get even more gains, and thus over a longer period of time, it's actually a bullish thing. Short-term, it might be kind of bearish, but a lot of these guys are claiming right now that alts might get a very, very big hit in the short term here, and it's something you guys should prepare for. Right? This video is also to make you guys prepare and embrace for a couple of different scenarios. Josh Rager says on Twitter, the Bitcoin CME futures gap is quite large, 8270 up to 9120 on the daily chart. Currently exploring the gap, but again, no reason price needs to push all the way up to over $9,000. With resistance in the 84 to 8600 area, expect a pullback there. We can see the gap. If we just quickly give a little snap of a second, you can see that CME gap here, which is definitely quite a larger one. BitMEX, over $100 million Bitcoin short contracts liquidated as Bitcoin boost past $8,700. And again, BitMEX is one of those exchanges where you can lose a lot of freaking money very freaking quickly. All right. I've told you guys before, I think BitMEX is a little bit of a cheaty exchange, as they're never trying to do anything in your favor, and it's a lot simpler to lose a lot of money quickly right there with a lot of errors or, mistakes or crazy price action. And I recommend people to only trade on BitMEX if you really know what you're doing. And in times like this, where prices go like crazy, you might make yourself, a couple thousand % in a day. It's really, really possible with the good timed long. But yes, we could just see another huge amount of money has been liquidated here. And the thing that actually happens when a lot of money gets liquidated is it turns from bearish pressure to kind of null, to kind of a void, to kind of a bullish move. Because at one point there was $100 million pushing the price down because there's resistances, of course, right, from these bears. But all of a sudden, because we went too far away, all of that pressure just gets taken away because they got liquidated. And that's $100 million that we're talking about here. That's a lot of freaking leverage right there, guys. Trust me on that one. That's a very, very big bullish thing, which again, might be a little bit too much, but we'll get into that as we move on a little bit further. Breaking news. Binance CEO confirms reports of hacking attack, assures funds are safe. So yes, guys, I'm not even joking. And by the way, let me just move this one a little bit further. I'm not even joking. Binance confirmed that there were DDoS attacks, a couple of hack attempts I saw. He tweeted himself on Twitter, earlier today, our Chinese domains experienced a targeted DDoS attack, and users saw some lag and interruption of network access. Based on the attack patterns, it looks like work of our self-perceived competitors. No need to be concerned, systems are fine, and funds are #safeu. I love when CZ does that, just says the #safeu type of thing. I just like it whenever he does that. However, it's another little bit of a thing where I'm like, they're DDoSing them right now in the most crucial time in a very, very long while. Very convenient, isn't it? You know, and I believe CZ here that they were really DDoSed, and also believe that there was nothing too much going on. But I'm also like, you know, these guys in the crypto space, they know what they're doing. They're trying to push these exchanges down, and it's not actually only Binance that had some trouble. Coinbase, for example, here was also down. It has been for quite a while today. A lot of guys have been tweeting it, but also Coinbase has just been very known for going down whenever there's a lot of people trying to sell their money, or a lot of people trying to buy something, or trying to, I guess, earn some money. Very often it gets down. However, we're talking about, you know, this rally, right? We're talking about all these crazy moves that are going on right now. We don't know whether it's going to go into alts or whatnot. Here's why this is the most hated crypto rally. Pretty interesting title, but yes, the world's largest digital asset had a respectable rally last week that resulted in Bitcoin recording 7% gains year to date. It's been 6 weeks that Bitcoin had been rising in a row, while oil plunged 70% in the year to date, and the US equities minus 12%, with gold making a positive recovery of 14%. Bitcoin's 1-month volatility has also completely reverted to normal levels, now lower than oil and the S&P 500. Mike McGlone said on Twitter, in this tumultuous year, Bitcoin is gaining accolades as a stabilizing and maturing store of value, more likely to continue appreciating along with gold, and Bitcoin's volatility is lower than the world's most significant commodity, crude oil, and actually lower and the lowest ever versus the S&P 500. However, it is the most hated rally. April has turned out to be a good month for the cryptos after experiencing violent sell-off last month, and this month gained Bitcoin nearly 22%, Ethereum 50, Cardano 60, Stellar 70, Tezos 72, which Jeff Dorman, CIO of Accra, calls the most hated rally crypto has ever experienced. The global equity market rally from 2009 to 2019, just after the financial recession, was often characterized as being the most hated bull market ever, as well noted Dorman. He said, investors were so emotionally scarred by the events of 2008 that many set out the largest wealth appreciation opportunity of their lifetime, waiting for lower prices that never materialized. And that's one of the things we're seeing right now again. A lot of people will not enter this bullish market. A lot of people will say, yeah, we're not going to be continuing on. And one of the reasons for that is that we've seen a couple of huge and even the biggest Bitcoin price plunge ever in the last couple of months. I mean, we did minus 40 or minus 30% in one day. That's the biggest thing ever, right? And a lot of people are scarred for that. Maybe not for life, but definitely for a little while. And also another point to make there is that the halving is coming up relatively soon here, which a lot of people are anticipating will push the prices down. And all those things combined will make people not buy into Bitcoin right now because they don't buy it. They don't believe that it's going to be going on. And rightfully so. right? Rightfully freaking so, because I also personally think that prices will not continue. I believe that because I think the halving is a very known and anticipated event, and thus prices might be doing good for a little while right now, but they'll definitely turn around before the halving materializes. And it's fun to see my opinion on that because a lot of people agree, but a lot of people are also really against that, and a lot of people have no opinion or don't know what to think. And I find that it is so interesting to see all that going on right now. Such a huge contrast, purely because a lot of people are scarred. A lot of people are too insecure about the halving. A lot of people are too insecure about a sustained move because of all the pump and dumps and whatnot. And it's really fun that to see that if this move were a major move, a lot of people would still not trust it. And even if we went another 3 days with plus 10%, many, I think most, will still doubt that this is the big thing. And that's one of the fun phenomenons in crypto, I find, and actually in traditional stocks as well, is that we don't believe it until it's kind of too late already. And that's something I want to kind of warn you guys for today. Don't let yourself FOMO in, but also sometimes side with the FOMO a little bit, right? Whenever you see 4 days in a row of plus 10%, there's an 80% chance a retracement will come. There's a good chance the price will be going down. However, that doesn't mean you have to wait for the price to go back down lower than your original point, because sometimes that's where you're going to miss the big gains to be made. And you're always waiting for a price even lower, which might never come or might come in a couple of years. And you might miss out on the 1,000% gains that you could have had in that slim moment. Catherine Clark said on Twitter, "I am all for a healthy correction eventually, but you cannot trade on that. Right now, it seems that in the long and short term, the market is positioning for more downside. Skew and FUD's term structure in backwardation. Is the market ever this right in advance? No." Bitcoin. So basically, right now it's looking very freaking juicy to get into the coins, and it's looking all so good, but still, we're all doubting, we're still all sitting back and waiting, and this is actually a couple of days ago, where he also already stated and noticed, price is looking very juicy for a big run-up on the short and long term. However, we're all too scared, we're all too chickeny. But yes, again, these things are also coming up more and more and more now. I actually showed you guys a couple of articles earlier today, showing again that a couple of these websites and a couple of these news websites as well, they're really pushing the fear articles right now. They're really pushing these DDoS attacks, really pushing the risks and whatnot. I'm seeing a lot of that happen today. And I don't know if there's a big theme going on right now where they're trying to scare investors, or if it's just a lot of people are being hacked right now. A lot of people are being kind of pressured into not trading or pressured into having a certain opinion about all these crypto exchanges and whatnot. And maybe it's just a little bit more than average because the prices are doing crazy. It's definitely possible. Why Bitcoin price surging? What do key trends say about the Bitcoin halving? Well, historically speaking, I don't think historically speaking is accurate. And again, that's historically speaking. So what I'm trying to say with that is that history has shown us that history can say something, but it doesn't have to. And for the Bitcoin halving, we've never experienced the situation we're in right now. So it's actually pretty damn strange to pull out historical strings on this one. What I mean with that is we have never experienced a bull run that is not completely based upon the idea of something being possible. What we often kind of convincing ourselves is that Bitcoin or any other currency were to rally right now, it would be because we're seeing the utility. It would most likely be because the adoption is really around the corner. Or possibly because something really, really unprecedented has occurred. However, what is the fun fact is that it's still possible for a completely crazy rally to hop up just because of speculation and hype, because that's always possible, right? People act irrationally. It's just a thing that happens, and thus it is definitely possible. But also, with that having said, we don't know whether this new halving will actually be anything like the previous halvings, right? What is given is that there's a good likelihood of the price going down. Why so? Well, because it's a major known event that's going to be occurring, and whenever that's the case, people buy in very, very far up front because they're like, all right, price is going to be going up right now, which could be the time we're experiencing at this exact point. And then once the event really occurs, people are like, all right, but what now? And since nothing really happens afterwards anymore, people decide to sell it off. That's what happens most of the time. That's what happens historically very often, and it could happen again. However, it could also be the other way around, because we all have this knowledge right now. We could also be acting differently upon this, or maybe because last times we'd never been so scarred as now, where people are not as interested in buying into it. It might all go completely different. And again, the point here is that all that you're thinking that's really most likely going to happen, you don't know about still. And that's just something I want to keep you guys clear on, that there's no certainty. These analysts don't know for sure, and you got to be careful with your money at this point, because there's such a huge amount of uncertainty where, I don't think you should choose one side too far and too much of. If you're going to choose a side, and this is not financial advice, I would just go for the side of, try to buy at lower points and just sell really quickly afterwards for the small amount of money. Or just get yourself a position like right now where you're comfortable with the amount of money you're holding and don't care too much if the price goes down a little bit, because you're still going to be in a good spot for a later on run anyway. And at least if we get another major bullish spike, you're at least part of it. You're not like completely left out because you couldn't buy. And that only goes for people who have not got any crypto at all and they're waiting for the right entry. Who are kind of like, ooh, price will go down further, right? And I'll buy then. That's a scary thing to do. Most likely yes, but there's a chance that that's a no. Some good things have been happening as well though. KFC launches blockchain pilot for digital advertising and media buying. KFC has rolled out a blockchain pilot program across the Middle East for its digital advertising supply chains. Pretty damn good, pretty damn juicy. Bitcoin price smashes 8.5K resistance with 1K gains in 24 hours. So yes, we've gone up ridiculously far within the last day here. It's actually completely mental, but it's kind of looking like it's turning around already right now, which to me would be a good thing. That means we don't have to be so afraid of anything, and also that means the market is quite healthy. If we were to see a plus 40% day again, that would just bring so much uncertainty, and since I wouldn't really sell, yeah, I would probably do that, but for the video I would say I would probably not sell that much, even if it went to do plus 40, because it's always a little bit of a scary thing. I would not care too much if it did that. All I care about is a sustained move upwards, and I want a big rally to last a couple, over days, not just one big push in a day and then go back down like a pump of dump that we always experience. I don't care about that. I've long gone past those happy days. I just want a sustained move, and so even this, it doesn't excite me at all. It's just cool to see that Bitcoin is alive still, and did not, we're not kind of dried out. Report: Bitmain earned over $300 million in 2020 despite rumored problems. This is just one of the fun facts I'm trying to show you guys again. We're being kind of influenced to think that all these miners were not making money, or that Bitmain was having some problems and had to lay off a lot of people because they were doing bad in 2020. Well, still made $300 million in this year. And also, what is also true is that because of this halving, a lot of upgrades are going to be taking place, and Bitmain is going to be selling a lot of new units. I just know it for a fact. They're going to be selling a lot. And so the mining industry is never going to die out. It won't. It might just shift a little bit, but it will always trace back. It might just take a little bit of time. I just saw this as well from a couple months ago, but that's something I want to cover in another video. I don't know. This one was just a small little update. Cardano's string of developments also includes the need for backfiling and documentation, something I also want to get into in another video, I guess. But hopefully you all enjoyed this video and learned something new. To basically summarize my opinion, it's that I think you should really be careful at this time, because really prices can move like crazy, and you should be a little bit prepared for it. You should be prepared for a minus 10% day tomorrow. You should be prepared for another plus 10% day tomorrow. You should be prepared for a couple of days of nothingness, which we've seen for a very long time, because it's all before the halving, and we can't tell yet if people are too scared to have bought in. People are buying in massively because of the halving. If this event has anything to do with the halving at all, or if it's a move that was spurred up by XRP and XLM prices, we don't know about that either. But again, right now prices are looking to go down on the hourly, which might be a good thing because that might mean the market is still really healthy. We'll see though. I'll be updating you guys as I know more and find out some new cool things. Hopefully you learned something new. See you guys again in another crypto video. Enjoy your day, everybody. Make sure you follow my second channel called Dusty Finance, and make sure you follow my Twitter, the Dusty BC, over on Twitter.